Hey everyone, how's it going? Thanks so much for tuning in. Today we're going to be taking an in-depth look into the 2017 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. In this review, we'll start it up, show the engine, get an exhaust clip, and go over the performance data, take it on a thorough drive both on the road and the track, and show you many of the unique aspects throughout the interior as well as exterior. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop on in, start her up, and let her run. Along with the remote access smart key system, the ZL1 comes standard with push-button ignition. To start, just make sure you have the key fob on you, put your foot on the brake, and hit the dash mounted button to go. Earlier this year, while attending a media event for the Camaro convertible and 2-liter turbo models at Spring Mountain Raceway, Chevrolet revealed the all-new ZL1 to a select group of automotive press, myself included. Not only was the reveal completely unexpected, but the hot laps that followed was one of the most exhilarating things I've taken part of this year. As I was tossed around in a camouflage prototype equipped with the new 10-speed automatic, I kept thinking to myself that Chevrolet had something truly special here. A car that blended everything I loved about classic American muscle with the finesse and poise needed to carve through corners with relentless grip like a proper sports car. 650 horsepower is nothing to sneeze at. After all, this is the most powerful Camaro ever created. But what impressed me the most was its split personality. It's a very approachable car that at first doesn't appear all that different from an SS, or better yet, an SS1LE. It's perfectly capable as a daily driver, as I was able to experience during a scenic drive through Angela's Crest. On the flip side though, following numerous drag strip runs and laps around Willow Springs Raceway, it quickly becomes apparent that the numbers this ZL1 is able to put down rivals many elite supercars, all at a fraction of the price. In fact, the new ZL1 recently lapped the Nürburgring in about 7 minutes 29 seconds, which is nearly 12 seconds faster than the previous ZL1. The styling of the Gen 6 Camaro really comes into its own here. The aggressive bodywork, chiseled lines, and wide stance has been further enhanced by a larger front splitter, more pronounced rockers, a wing-style rear spoiler, and underbody shields in order to optimize aerodynamics. The changes allow the ZL1 to manage airflow more efficiently, leading to improved cooling and downforce. Also, the entire front end of the car is new, featuring larger grille openings that draw in larger volumes of air to the radiators, auxiliary coolers, and brake cooling channels. The grille also incorporates the hollow bow tie emblem that first debuted on the Z28 that Chevrolet calls flow tie, again to maximize the amount of air that goes into the engine compartment. The aluminum hood integrates a carbon fiber heat extractor, which essentially acts as a bleed-off valve to draw out turbulent hot air from the engine bay. It reduces front-end lift while providing an extra measure of cooling. Exposed carbon fiber is optional, otherwise the extractor is painted black. Pricing for the ZL1 Coupe begins at $63,435 for the 6-speed manual, while the convertible starts at $69,435. Both MSRPs include a $995 destination charge and a $1,300 gas guzzler tax. The 10-speed automatic transmission is a $1,595 option. The ZL1 features an exclusive set of asymmetric 20-inch forged aluminum wheels, measuring 10 inches wide in front and 11 inches wide in the rear. Helping it achieve up to 1.02 G of lateral acceleration are specifically developed Goodyear Eagle F1 supercar tires, 285/30s in front and wider 305/30s in the rear. Speed is scrubbed quickly thanks to a robust Brembo braking system that includes huge 15.35 by 1.42 inch 2-piece rotors up front with 6-piston monoblock calipers and 14.37 by 1.1 inch rotors in the rear with 4-piston calipers. All discs are internally ventilated and formed from iron, with the front discs benefiting from dedicated brake cooling channels in the front fascia to reduce fade under harder use. The brakes offer tons of stopping force and consistent performance. In conjunction with 4-channel ABS, they're able to bring the car to a complete stop from 60 miles an hour in 107 feet. The SS1LE I drove recently, which borrows a number of ZL1 hardware, was just a taste of the Gen 6 Camaro's track capabilities. It inspired confidence around every turn with excellent grip from the tires and communicative steering. The ZL1 is a different beast entirely. The steering receives unique tuning to accommodate for the larger front tires and a variety of other factors to deliver a progressive and natural response when cornering. It's a ZF rack-mounted electric power-assisted setup with a varying ratio between 15:1 on center and 11:1 at full lock. It takes 2 1/4 turns to lock and has a turning circle of 38.4 feet. The ZL1's FE4 suspension consists of McPherson struts up front with dual lower ball joints and hydraulic ride bushings, while the rear consists of a 5-link setup with stiffer rear cradle mounts and stiffer bushings for the upper and lower trailing links. Along with larger front and rear stabilizer bars, ZL1s come standard with monotube shocks and magnetic ride control. In the center console, there's a drive mode selector that contains 4 modes: Tour, Sport, Track, and Snow Wet. Each mode controls the behavior of the steering, throttle, damper firmness, engine response, and, if equipped, the automatic transmission. Chevrolet's 5-mode performance traction management system can only be accessed in track mode by pressing the stability control button twice. Working in tandem with the ZL1's launch control system and electronic limited slip differential, PTM fine-tunes the stability control to maximize performance based on your comfort level and road condition, especially useful for the track. At a base curb weight of 3,887 pounds, the new ZL1 is approximately 220 pounds lighter than its predecessor. The 2017 ZL1 is powered by GM's LT4 supercharged 6.2-liter V8. It's constructed using an aluminum block with aluminum heads, pushrod operated overhead valves, and 2 valves per cylinder. Fuel is delivered via direct injection. The compression ratio is rated at 10:1, while maximum engine speed is 6,600 RPM. Much of the LT4's hardware is shared with the Corvette Z06 and Cadillac CTS-V, with the ZL1 featuring different designs for its intake and multi-mode exhaust system. 11 heat exchangers are located throughout the car to ensure proper cooling of the powertrain and running gear. Now developing 650 horsepower at 6,400 RPM and 650 pound-feet of torque at 3,600 RPM, the ZL1's output matches that of the Z06. That's an increase of 70 horsepower and 94 pound-feet of torque over its predecessor. It's able to accelerate to 60 miles an hour in as little as 3.5 seconds and fly past a quarter mile in 11.4 seconds at 127 miles per hour. A line lock feature similar to the Mustang is standard. It works by locking the front wheels to enable rear wheel spin, allowing you to heat up the rear tires for maximum grip at a drag strip. Along with launch control, there's even a variety of custom settings so you can dial in different launch RPMs and slip targets. All of that, including a line lock, can be accessed from the driver's information system. A Tremec TR6060 6-speed manual transmission comes standard, just like the SS, but the ZL1 features revised gearing to match the capabilities of the LT4. However, the biggest piece of news is the debut of the all-new 10R90 10-speed automatic transmission. You can never replace the engagement you get from a manual, but the ZL1's incredible sensation of raw and unadulterated power is exponentially elevated with the automatic, creating a definitive track weapon that's able to shift faster than a dual-clutch transmission. With a wide ratio of spread of 7.39 to 1, the steps between gears are kept small, allowing the LT4 to better maintain optimal RPM levels during hard acceleration. Thanks to a few performance algorithms that come into play when the car is set to sport or track mode, the transmission is able to adapt a shifting strategy with respect to your driving style. The harder you push it, the more aggressive the strategy. On top of that, with heavier throttle inputs, fuel delivery is cut momentarily to reduce shift times even further. Performance is one thing, but the 10R90's innovation and flexibility also extends to everyday drivability. Especially in tour mode, shifts are smooth and seamless. To minimize busyness, being that there's so many gears, the transmission will hold the current gear if you lift off the throttle to prevent excessive upshifts and subsequent downshifts when tipping back in. It'll prevent shift cycling when climbing up grades, while optimizing gear selection when descending grades to maintain speed. Along with being able to shift it manually by the steering wheel paddles, if you pull and hold the left paddle, the transmission will downshift to the lowest possible gear for added convenience. The 10R90 is also compact and mass efficient. It fits in the same space as GM's current 8-speed automatic, which actually makes it about the same size as the previously offered 6-speed automatic. It's said that by 2018 the 10-speed will be fitted into 8 different GM vehicles. However, the hardware and calibrations used to develop the 10R90 and the ZL1 will not be shared with anything else. As far as fuel economy, EPA estimates for manual transmission cars range between 14 miles per gallon in the city and 20 miles per gallon on the highway. Premium fuel is required and is held within a 19-gallon tank. Fun fact, when driving down the highway at speeds of 65 miles an hour or so in 10th gear, the LT4 is spinning at approximately 1,500 RPM. The ZL1 is offered in one very well-equipped package that contains all of the bells and whistles you'd expect to find on a Camaro 2SS, plus a number of unique appointments that distinguish it from the rest of the lineup. For starters, the interior is only offered in black, and the seats are wrapped in a combination of leather and suede upholstery. Suede can also be found on the door panels, dashboard, center console, steering wheel, and shifter. Red accent stitching throughout adds an aggressive contrast that's accompanied by red seat piping and, when paired with certain exterior colors, red seat belts. The build quality is very good, with everything feeling solid and well put together. There's soft padding in the essential touch points, and even some higher-end amenities such as brushed aluminum door trim, customizable mood lighting, and the availability of a carbon fiber dashboard insert. Recaro Sports seats are standard, featuring full power adjustments, memory settings for the driver, and 3-stage heating and cooling. The heated steering wheel is manually tilting and telescoping, while the headrests are vertically adjustable. The seats are supportive with great lateral and shoulder support. The cushions are firm but still offer plenty of padding where it matters the most. There's a decent amount of lumbar support built in, but some adjustability would certainly make it more flexible to different body types. Regardless, it's a well-rounded seat design that does a good job at blending long-term comfort and keeping you firmly in place while taking a sharp corner. The controls are logically organized and placed within easy reach, while the infotainment screen is tilted slightly forward to minimize sun glare. As far as storage, the ZL1 features door storage pockets, center console space, which also houses your media inputs, 2 cup holders, and a generous glove box. Along with your typical array of airbags, including driver and passenger knee airbags, rear cross-traffic alert and side blind zone alert with lane change alert are standard, as is rear park assist and a rear view camera with adaptive guidance lines. Standard features include an 8-inch MyLink infotainment system with both surround sound, dual-zone climate control, and a heads-up display. There aren't too many options on top of that, with the 3 main ones being navigation, a sunroof, and the performance data recorder. If you opt for PDR, which I would highly suggest, you can record videos of your drives onto an SD card, along with a variety of performance data that you can take back and analyze later. I've already talked about the MyLink system in prior videos, but one thing that I definitely wanted to highlight is the ability to change all the different colors of the ambient lighting. There's a show mode, which basically cycles through a bunch of different colors. You can link it to the drive mode, so it'll change color based on the drive mode you're in, or you can pick a custom color. There's not a ton of backseat space, but it is usable. There's a storage pocket on the back of the passenger seat, and towards the rear of the console there's a wireless phone charging tray for compatible devices. A lot of people talk about the visibility of these cars, and while the C-pillar is quite large, honestly you get used to it after a while of driving. So now let's go ahead and see if she sounds, both sitting still and on the road. If you'd like to learn more about how the ZL1's multi-mode exhaust system works, be sure to check out my pure sound overview when it's live. The link will be in the top right hand corner of the video and in the description box below. Alright, so let's go ahead and shut her down. Next, we'll go to the back and check out trunk space. The Camaro obviously isn't what you would call a practical car. There's 9.1 cubic feet of cargo space out back, but it's a pretty deep well that can swallow a lot of groceries. Depending on the size of the item, you might not be able to fit it through the opening, but you can fold down the rear seat to expand cargo space all the way to the front. It also makes it a lot more accommodating for taller items. Underneath the trunk floor, you have a tire inflation kit, and that's pretty much it. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed the in-depth look at the 2017 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. Be sure to stay tuned next time, leave a like and subscribe, because there's always a lot more where that came from. Take care, everyone.